Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Riata Horsemanship. I'm Luke Brown. I'm excited to be with you here today on Motivational Monday. I hope you had a great weekend. I certainly had a wonderful weekend and was able to spend some time filming, making some video for the Riata Horsemanship training section of the Lady Horse Boss website. So I look forward to being able to put that up and have you guys see what we're creating there in Lady Horse Boss. It's really exciting for us. And I've started a whole bunch of new horses this week. I've got 6 new horses coming in. Well, most of them have come in, all but one. And this horse behind me is Stella. And Stella is, trying to remember how old she is. I think she's around 5. 5-year-old Arabian / paint mare that came to me. She's from Yuma, Arizona. So I'm excited to have her. I've had horses from all over Arizona, and some horses from Canada and Colorado and a few other places, but she's from Yuma. So I've had a few horses from Yuma, and she is a wonderful little mare that I've been working with. She's a horse she's rideable, but the people that they bought her and just aren't quite so sure about. She's kind of reactive, doesn't like a back cinch, doesn't like being touched around the flank. She spooks and kind of bolts a little bit to that, and she just needs a little bit of work and refining here at Riata Horsemanship. And she's very, very smart, and she's a lot of fun to work with. Excited to work with her and all the other new horses that have come in today or this weekend. And today for Motivational Monday, there's a book I've been reading. Actually, I'm reading it the second time now. If you're cuss word averse, you probably don't want to read this book. So it drops a lot of bad words, especially the F word. So if you don't like hearing the F word, I'd recommend not reading this book. But there's a lot of good content in this book. It was recommended to me by another author, and I decided to get it and read it. And it's been a really good book. It's called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Blank. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Blank. And that last word starts with F. So. So if you don't like that word, certainly don't go to listen to this book. But I really am enjoying this book. It's by, I believe his name is Michael Manson. I think that's the author's name, Michael Manson. And it's an incredible book. And like I said, I've been reading it. I read it over the weekend, and I'm starting again for the second time today. And he talks about in there about not caring about the wrong things. It's so important that, in today's society, we tend to put a lot of effort, a lot of emotional baggage, or a lot of emotional energy goes towards worrying about things that we shouldn't be worrying about. And he said the key to having happiness is overcoming problems. And let me say that again, the key to happiness, I'm kind of paraphrasing, I don't remember exactly how he said it, but he said the key to happiness is overcoming problems. He said there always will be problems in life, and that is so true. Sometimes we see our own internal struggles, we see our own problems with our own relationships, with my horse training, with my relationships with my family, with my wife, and with my with friends, or anybody who I work with. There's always problems that come up, and a lot of times, especially social media tends to paint a white picket fence picture the perfect life of somebody. Most people will go on social media and display their perfect self. And when we look at that, now some people do the opposite, but I would say as a general rule, most people show the highlights of their life, whether they went on a honeymoon, or whether they just had a newborn child, or whatever it is, or they got a new vehicle, or all the things that are going great in their life. And so we see that in social media, and we tend to think that that's reality, and that what we're living in our reality is certainly a problematic. And so we start wishing we didn't have our problems. We start thinking that we're special, that we have problems that other people don't have. And that's just not true. Everybody has a set of problems. Sometimes they're good problems, and sometimes they're bad problems, but we all have problems. And when I say good problems, I mean it might be a problem. For example, if you're overweight, that's a problem. If you have poor health because you're overweight, that's a problem. So if you start going to the gym, then you get new problems. You may start losing the weight, but then you get sore, or you have a problem getting up early in the morning. You always have new problems. The homeless person on the street that doesn't have a penny to his name has a money problem, but Warren Buffett also has a money problem. It's just a different problem, and his problems are usually much, much bigger. And I just say that to give an extreme example. But we all have problems, and the key to finding happiness in life is to understand that we can work through those problems, we can overcome those problems. And when we understand that, and we really have a belief inside of us that we can get out there and we can overcome our problems, and we can move to the next problem, and maybe move to a better problem, like not having money to having too much money, we can certainly move forward in life, and we can overcome problems and change our problems and continue to progress in life. Remember, progress, if we're not progressing, we're not going to be happy. If we're not creating the answers to our problems, we're not going to be happy. So if you feel submissive to your problems, if you feel like you have no choice, you have no ability to change your problems, then you're really going to be a miserable person. But if you look at your problems as a challenge, and you realize that you can work on fixing those problems, you can change your problems to something better, you're going to be much, much happier. I love that about that book. It's a really good book. If you're okay with a bunch of cuss words, it's a really good book, and I recommend it. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Until next time, be thankful, live with purpose, live with passion, and as always, stay safe in the saddle.